Coach Gardner, freshly minted honoree, Hall of Fame member. I was going to introduce Laura Kunak.
Hello again. Got three quick things to talk about Laura. First off, that she came into our lives unknowingly when she was about 12. We had a picture of our son Nate, who was on a pony ride when he was about 3 or 4. And in the picture was this little blonde-haired girl who was leading the horse around the pasture. You know, the picture was of Nate, but there's this little blonde kid like this, kind of grinning for the picture as well. Walked by this picture, 1,000 times. It was stuffed into the side of my wife's mirror in our bedroom. And when Laura was a junior, I looked at it again and said, "Oh my gosh, that little girl is Laura Kunak." So who knew? Two, Laura and another one of my advisees, Megan, they spent a lot of time in our house. They had a room in the back of our house. They spent the night there a great deal. It wasn't until my boys were 8 and 10 that they thought that they realized that Laura and Megan weren't their sisters. So anyway, John and Maureen, congratulations for being Laura's parents, but she's Anne's and my daughter too. And then finally, as a runner, Laura made everybody better. You can read what I wrote about her, but at one point in her career, she owned or was part of 12 different school records, from the 800 to the 3200 relays. She made the team better. She made people on the team better who didn't even run the same events as her. She made me a better coach. She probably forgets this, but when she graduated, she gave me this, and it says, "At the crossroads of the busy lives we lead, there are people like you who help answer the question, which way?" And I carry this with me every day. You can see I put it through the laundry a couple times. And it just reminds me that you never know when kids are going to take that 12 seconds to pay attention. Like when's that moment going to be? And so Laura, in her way, that even though she wasn't here anymore, that she made me a better husband and dad and coach and teacher, and I can't thank her enough. So hey Laura, welcome to the Hall of Fame. Come on up.
First and foremost, thank you, God, for all the blessings you've given me. Peddie was by far the best blessing you've ever given me. I am forever grateful. Thank you to the Hall of Fame Induction Committee for recognizing my accomplishments, none of which would have been possible without the help of so many. And congratulations to the other inductees. And being here with MG and Mr. Hart makes this moment even more special. Running was a passion that I discovered at age 7. I've been running ever since, over 30 years. A lot of miles on these legs. When I first started running and discovered I was somewhat good at it, I used to believe I had a natural talent, but in hindsight, I think I was wrong. My accomplishments are a result of hard work and discipline. And the mentality of having that drive comes from many experiences, places, and people who help shape you along the way. So please bear with me for just a few minutes while I thank the amazing people who have played a role in my story. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for being exceptional parents. If a child is trained up in the right way, even when he is old, he will not be turned. You trained me well and gave me the tools to succeed and taught me countless life lessons. Through your examples, I have mastered the concept of hard work. I take after both of you equally, and I'm proud of it. My twin sister Jonna's not here, but I thank her for being my better half, putting up with me as we literally grew up side by side and shared the same childhood experiences, only she got to go to public school. My grandfather, Papa, he never missed a practice, he never missed a race. He was always there, and he was my biggest fan. And then to the rest of my family for loving and supporting me along the way, and just always being there, practices, games, meets, etc. My first coach, Jim McHugh, for his years of sacrificing his time as a coach, some of my most memorable childhood memories are from the road trips we took as a team, the night practices, and he prepared me for my next step, which was Peddie. Peddie was by far the best 4 years of my life, and I wasn't supposed to be here. For me, Peddie was about opportunity, courage, and taking a chance, and extreme generosity. I was 2 weeks into public school when Mr. Maribel and Mr. Hart found me just a few miles down the road at a Cranberry Road race. I was running a 5K race just because that's what I love to do, run. But Mr. Hart and Mr. Maribel, thank you, because you saw something in me and took a chance. And because of you, I'm standing here today. That day, that road race, that moment in time changed everything. It changed my course. So 1 + 1 = 3. Because then the impossible happened. And Peddie accepted me as part of your community. And this is an opportunity of a lifetime. And it wasn't just the track and cross country teams. It was the whole Peddie experience. The places it led me, the people I met along the way, and lessons I learned. It provided me with a positive, unique high school experience, a higher education, 4 years of competitive running, and just being a part of a team. Every day, this place challenged me to do better. Peddie was hard for me, especially academically, but I loved every second of my time here. And I was guided, taught, and coached and inspired by so many. MG, yes I do remember, but I couldn't exactly quote it. At the crossroads of life, there are people like you who help decide which way to go. I want to write it down so I have it. But I do remember that card you gave me, or I gave you. You were my rock, my guidance, my teacher, my coach, and my inspiration for doing better. And like any good coach, you pushed me to grow. You challenged me to set new milestones, not only on the track, but academically as well. For everything, thank you. And to all the Peddie coaches. I don't know who's here today and who's not, but is Mr. Stewart, Mr. Hart, MG, Mr. Armitrout. Just, are we there yet? Wait, I have to pee, I always have to pee. This is the right way, they always had to, on a cross-country course, if we ever had to turn left or right, somebody had to be there to make sure I was going that way. The memories are priceless, and thank you all for your constant dedication and encouragement. Mr. O'Neill, my first advisor here. Thank you for being my go-to person when I first arrived here at Peddie. We were both new to Peddie, so it was kind of fitting that we were paired together. I think Mr. Clements is here anymore, but Peddie was a miracle in itself. But then he introduced the Principio project and somehow convinced my parents to sign me up. And nothing but lifelong experiences followed. Going to Spain, riding bikes, from New Jersey to DC, participating in all the crazy projects like writing a novel. Who does that as a high school kid? Road trips, adventures, and all the homework assignments. They were priceless. So to Mr. Clements, Mr. Kraft, Mr. Rhett, Miss Webb, and all the Principio classmates, thank you. We took learning outside the classroom. Thank you for making it fun and just being a part of the adventure. To all the Peddie teachers who are here, it takes a special person to be a teacher, to genuinely care and inspire others to learn and to mentor them. It's a calling, and I've learned something from all of you, whether I had you as a teacher or not. You've helped shape me into the person I am today through your examples and your leadership. I'm forever grateful, and it was nothing short of being blessed to have such amazing people guide me. Thank you. To the teammates, there's a lot, just to name a few. We had Kate Dorr, Catherine Hollis, Mika Hayes, Matt Davis, Megan, TJ, Leland, Daryl, Nick Hillington, Laura Obador, so many more. And to all my friends and peers, Candace, Sarah, Stephanie, Paul, Mindy, Nini, Matt Keeves, Kevin, and so many, it's just to name a few, I will always cherish the memories and the friends that I've made here. And thank you to everybody who supported me. And to all the Peddie staff and administration, to the lunch ladies, to the security guards, even Mrs. Clements, I didn't want to get demerits, when we missed class. Mr. DeGray at the time, and all the administration staff who had the say in my acceptance years ago. To everybody in the background, you're the backbone of this place. And thank you for your continuous support and selfless service. And then to my husband, Steve, my bestest pal in the whole world, thank you for being here today and understanding better than anyone my love for running and Peddie and how important it is, and for always loving and supporting me. To Evan and Georgia, my daughters, I hope you'll have a similar life experience. At a minimum, I hope you'll learn the importance of hard work and perseverance from your mother. And to any student athlete sitting in the crowd today, Peddie helped me grow, prepared me for what was ahead, and left me with a drive to give back, so that I may help and inspire others to accomplish amazing milestones in their lives. Work hard, embrace the opportunity, use the life lessons you'll learn through sports, people you meet along the way, and your Peddie experience to help create your foundation for the type of person you're destined to be. No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but it yields a harvest of righteousness.